Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to have a chat about some Pokemon products that have gone and been revealed. And they just so happen to feature Lizia, we'll get to that in a second. And they just so happen to release on September the 13th. And the reason that is a relevant date is because that is a date we know we're getting the new expansion, Paradise Dragona. Again, this is not a set which has been officially revealed. We've not seen the pack art or any of that. But we know it's coming because we've seen distributor listings, etc. I'm using double dragon energy just as a way of showing dragon Pokemon, just to be clear. Although I would love there to be a reprint of Double Dragon Energy. I think that would be fantastic. I don't know that that's happening, and I rather suspect it might not be. So just hold on that for a minute. It's just to show dragon Pokemon. If there were a basic Dragon Energy, I'd show you that. But there isn't, so I can't. So what are we getting on September the 13th? Well, we're getting ourselves a lot of the usual stuff. We are getting a set of sleeves featuring Lisia and Altaria. Altaria, of course, being a dragon Pokemon, not a coincidence, because, of course, Paradise Dragona. And they will be retailing for 500 yen. I'll tell you this all the time, these deck boxes over in Japan, ridiculously cheap. 500 yen, you're talking $3.20 or £2.50. Exchange rate might have changed a little between now and September, but that's roughly where we're looking. There's also a set of sleeves that are going to be made available. They are going to be costing 889 yen, which is a standard price for regular sleeves over in Japan. Nothing terribly exciting there. We're talking $5.70 or £4.40. Very, very cheap. And then we've also got a playmat coming along as well, which is going to be 2,970 yen. So you're talking basically £15 or $19. It's very, very cheap for what it is. It's cool. Now, we don't know what it looks like. We don't have all the information. What we do have, however, is knowledge that this stuff coming out on the same day as Paradise Dragona does mean that we're getting both Lisia and Altaria in the set. That has to be happening. That's always happening. I mean, look, we can look at what we saw. I mean, I showed you just the other day, the products that are coming around with Night Wanderer. And we've got products, in fact, the same trio of products, deck box, sleeves, and playmat, featuring Cassiopeia. And of course, Cassiopeia gets a card in the set. For what it's worth, Cassiopeia is the only character that actually gets all of that, the sleeves, the deck box, and the playmat. That's probably not a coincidence. There'll be other sleeves and deck boxes and all of that, but they often do choose like one character to get the full suite, and that's what we've got here with Lisia and Altaria. Now, this tells us a bunch of stuff. Firstly, obviously, we're getting a Lisia supporter card. That's basically confirmed. In my eyes, it's confirmed, but technically, I have to say, it's basically confirmed. And we are getting an Altaria that I'm assuming is going to be an EX. Now, I know with the Cassiopeia stuff, it had all the evolutions, except Glaceon, weirdly, and none of them really got much love in the set. I do understand that, but you know the Eevees are a special case, right? If they're going to get EXs, that's going to be an own set. So that's not a thing we're worried about right now. What we've got here is just one Pokemon out there, which is Altaria, and I cannot tell you we will be getting an EX. As an example, Kyurem got sleeves in Night Wanderer, but it's just a regular card in the set, although a very impactful set. So no guarantee, but I'm predicting we are going to be getting an Altaria EX, and that's going to be lovely. So this is all starting to add up, and the other thing, of course, is, I mean, look, when we see a set called Paradise Dragona, that kind of tells us it's a dragon-focused set. And the fact that there is a dragon focus really shouldn't surprise anyone. But that doesn't mean it's not nice to have some confirmation. Like, Lisia as a trainer here is a dragon-type trainer. Came around in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and she has an Altaria, which shouldn't really surprise anyone. maybe calling her a dragon-type trainer is a bit of an exaggeration. But look, she always has an Altaria, okay? So I'm willing to allow it. Point is, it's more dragon stuff. But here's a really interesting question. We know that in Pokemon ZA, or Pokemon Legends ZA, we're going to be getting Mega Evolution back. Which means that we are going to be getting a way to bring it back into the TCG. And that's not confirmed, but come on, we all know at this stage, when we get it in the games, it comes into the TCG. That's just always the way, right? And Altaria is known for Mega Evolution. And Lizia is known for Mega Evolving her Altaria, so I'm not saying it's going to happen, and honestly, the September set might be a little bit too early, but I am going to raise the question here, okay? I am just going to mention it, and I'm going to leave that one hanging, and I'm going to see what you think. In terms of Lizia in the TCG, we've only actually seen her once before. We've had exactly one Lizia card, and that's it. Came around in Celestial Storm, and there was a full art version of it. Let you search for 2 Prism Star cards and put them into your hand. Wasn't a terrible card, incidentally. But, I mean, it wasn't a stunning card, let's be clear. I'm not saying this was great, but I am saying it wasn't completely terrible. There was a reason for it. Could this have a similar thing with Ace Specs? I don't know, probably not, honestly. But you never know. Maybe it will. As for Altaria, well, that is a lot more interesting because we've had a bunch of Altaria over the years, but we did get Mega Altaria. That was a thing that happened. We got Mega Altaria a while ago at this stage, admittedly, but we did get Mega Altaria back in Fates Collide. There were a couple of them. So could that happen again? I don't know is the honest answer. And like I say, it might be too early. And I do want it on the record that I am acknowledging that it could be too early, but it would be kind of fun. Essentially, we'd have to bring in Mega Evolution probably before. I don't think this is going to be the set that brings it in. So again, it's probably too early, but it's a nice thought now, isn't it? And I know that the most recent Altaria we got was in Paradox Rift. We have already had Altaria EX, remember? We had Altaria EX in Paradox Rift, and it was a dragon type. And to be clear, we've seen a bunch of colourless Altaria in the past. Actually, this might be a good time to point out that the character rare from Silver Tempest did actually have Lizia on the artwork, which was extremely cool. So, we've had colourless in the past. It's going to be dragon this time, let's be perfectly clear. I know we've had a Dragon EX Altaria. I know we had it as recently as Fates Collide, and I know that really should make me go, well, that was a bit too recent, maybe not. But no, I'm sorry. I refuse to believe that we are getting a dragon-focused set where the real standout products, the real standout merch associated with the set is Lizia and Altaria, and we're just getting a regular Altaria. And maybe we will, and look, I'm acknowledging right now I could be wrong about this because of how recently we've had a Dragon-type Altaria EX, and I don't care. Because I would like another one, and I think we may well be getting one. Also, amazing illustration rare. As a side note, it had the ability that once during a turn you can heal 20 from each of your Pokemon, and 2 energy, 140 during your opponent's next turn, prevent all effective attacks used by your opponent's Pokemon done to this Pokemon. As a side note, it's a kind of Pokemon that doesn't really see any play right now, but if we got a reprint of Double Dragon Energy, couldn't you see this Pokemon becoming a whole bunch better? Because I'm telling you right now, I absolutely could. I'm just leaving that to roll. I don't actually think we're getting a reprint of Double Dragon Energy, though it would make me happy. But I'm saying it would make an impact. And if you want to make an impact in a dragon-focused set, because there are a whole bunch of dragons out there like Altaria that 1 water, 1 metal, no, I'm not doing it, it's terrible. But if instead you switched it around and just made it 1 Double Dragon Energy, That could be quite good. Altaria gets a lot of love in the Pokemon TCG. Like, I've just shown you the character rare. I've shown you the special illustration rare from Paradox Rift. Let's not forget, we also had a lovely version of Altaria in Crown Zenith as well. Pokemon like Altaria, and I just think there's more to come. I mean, there's blatantly going to be an Altaria in Paradise Dragona, let's be clear. I just think it could be a bit of a landmark Pokemon. Could be one of the big ones in the set. Or they could just look at it and go, mate, we literally just had an EX, you're not having another one. Either way, Paradise Dragona is coming on the 13th of September over in Japan. And all of a sudden, we have got ourselves this merch featuring Lisia and Altaria. I think that tells us quite a lot. But I've explained all of that now, so it's over to you guys. Tell me how excited you are for Paradise Dragona. Tell me your hopes, tell me your dreams, tell me anything you want to tell me in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.